I'm so hungry, but it's too hot. Hi everybody, how are you doing? We're at the end of the first week of the challenge. The January challenge. I actually sang for the first time yesterday down in my studio. Since my last bout of coughing, I haven't wanted to sing. So how are you doing? I am doing pretty well. In fact, I think I'm doing really well because I've lost 3 pounds in the week, and that is despite the fact that I've eaten some days almost entirely breads slathered with butter, fresh out of the oven, warm bread with butter, or toasted up with butter and butter and butter, more bread and more bread and more bread, because I've been trying to teach myself to make bread. This, believe it or not, was my second loaf. Different recipe I found online, and it didn't work at all. It wasn't enough yeast. It actually tastes really good, but it's just like solid dough. It's funny. So I'm not really sure it's mostly the white flour, but this recipe that I followed today, the third recipe that I've tried so far, asks for some 50 grams of the whole wheat flour. I think I put whole wheat in there. I'm not sure because I didn't mark the canister when I dumped it into a thing in my pantry, so I won't know until this thing cools off and I can cut into it and see what it tastes like. It's been a little hit and miss so far, but eating lots of bread. And, pretty much whatever I wanted during those hours that I'm eating, from 1 to 7, that's when I eat. But I go to bed. When I go to bed, I'm hungry. I am hungry at night, and that's always a good sign, because I know if I can manage to go to bed hungry, I have not gained weight, and I have probably lost a little bit of weight. So far so good. Just gonna cut in here right now to show you what I'm eating. Literally, the camera is making it look a little bigger bowl than it is, but there's no way to make it look normal. Anyway, it's rice and roasted Brussels sprouts and some thigh meat chicken that I made into cutlets, all chopped up in here. It's really good. It's what I have for dinner, and it's what I'm having for breakfast, and this is how much I've been eating. So good. Oh, I'm so hungry, but it's too hot. There's nothing like that first bite of food after 17 hours of not eating. And this is the bread I've been eating. This is one of the loaves I've made, which is a part rye flour in it, which is why it's darker. It's really good. I just toasted up, put a bunch of butter on it. It's so good. I'm sorry, you just cannot beat warm bread and butter. So nice crunchy crust. But literally, I'm eating this and that whole bowl, and that's how I've been eating. And I've still lost 3 pounds. So give it a try, folks. I think it really works. Well, you're probably thinking, will you quit that? You're probably thinking, well, you've just been, moving so much, walking so much. That's partly why. But actually, to be honest, full disclosure, I've only walked 3 times this week because the weather's been so awful. Getting out and walking when the weather is what you can only describe as crummy isn't that easy, but I know I'm going to feel better afterwards. It's been raining all morning, but it's not exactly dry right now. It's still a little drizzly, and I might get caught in it, who knows, but gonna give it a shot. I'm just gonna do it. It's not cold. It's 50, again, it's like 50 degrees So, day 3, I'm out here. Are you? First part of my walk is the steepest. It's very steep. It's great when you're on a fresh horse to start that way, but I would like it a little. Well, I do have to walk. I could cut through the field, but it's wet, so I didn't want to go that way. So I'm walking on the road, which I am walking. I don't know, maybe half a mile before I hit the steep part. Maybe a little less than that. Maybe a quarter mile. I don't know. It's not bad. The judging distance, I think about half a mile. That first part is like, it's a doozy, but now it's just up and down, and then one more big up, and then just a long down. So I guess it's kind of perfect. I wouldn't want it to reverse in hindsight. By the way, the bread was yummy. I think I put in 3/4 white flour and 1/4. I thought it was whole wheat, but it's rye, I'm pretty sure. Very dark rye. But it was good. It's still not a sourdough, even though I made for those of you bread makers out there, I've tried 3 different recipes. And this one I made it with a poolish. So if you're a bread maker, you know what that means. It's kind of like doing the beginning of a starter and then just using it right away. That is another foggy day. It was a pretty good lunch, I have to say. There's this piece of warmed up in the pan prime rib with a big piece of warm buttered fresh bread with crusty crust on it. Really good. Sorry for making you hungry. So, comment below how many of you are trying the intermittent fasting. Some of you said how you're such a breakfast eater, and trust me, I am too. That's always my favorite meal. And I thought I would have a problem with not having breakfast, but it was surprisingly easy. Surprisingly easy. So I'm basically, I think I'm going, where am I going? 17 hours without eating. If you start at 1, stop at 7. I think that's right. Looks a bit eerie, doesn't it? The first night the first day for me is usually the easiest because I'm all gung-ho to get going, but all that sugar in my system, I don't know, it got to be, after 7 o'clock. So the time between 7 o'clock and going to sleep, that was hard. That sugar, the sugar craving was just clawing at me. But I resisted. Sugar is poison. Sugar is poison. So we have to keep telling ourselves. Sugar causes cancer. Sugar causes terrible things in the body, inflammation. Yep, that's the big one to get rid of. This is something I've been looking at for years, and I always meant to stop. Look at this. This was an old sign. It starts with an H. I don't know if it's horses, something, but it's been here so long, and the tree is doing its best to cover it. Crazy. I just didn't feel like getting out there. It was hard enough to get out. I mean, I get exercise because I go do all the barn chores and all that. So, but no, the walking, there were days I could not make myself get out there and do it. But today, which finally the sun is shining, so I am going to get out there because, walking in the rain, who wants to do that? It's no fun. I also made myself this calendar for this January challenge, and it's so nice to Mark off a day. It is nearly 60 degrees. Yeah, it's lovely, but wow, weird. Anyway, I'm going to Williams and Sonoma. I'm going to the mall to buy some baking stuff. I remember the last time I was at the mall. I don't shop. So this is crazy. 64 degrees. Can't believe it. I went to Trader Joe's to buy organic whole wheat flour. You think a place like that would have it, right? No, all they had was regular flour, white flour. So my hunt continues. And Williams and Sonoma didn't have two of the things that I wanted. I managed to get the scale, which is the main thing I needed. But they didn't have a proofing bowl, basket, and a bowl scraper. So I'm on the hunt. I've even been eating chocolate. And yes, this is the tin from the ginger cookies that Carolyn sent. Thank you. The cookies have been eaten. Now this is all what is left of the 5,000 tons of chocolate that April sent. And I'm eating it. Actually, I think I did really well considering I had days where the majority of my food consisted of freshly baked bread and butter. Just tons of bread and tons of butter. And kind of pretty much eating what I felt like eating during the 1 to 7 o'clock time frame that I have been allowing myself. So this is kind of proof that this intermittent fasting works because I've lost 3 pounds. 3 pounds eating a lot and a lot of bread and butter. So that just goes to show, like the first time I did the intermittent fasting, I was really strict for that first week. I was just eating, you know, the sauteed vegetables and the lean proteins and some little bit of fruit. And I lost 5 pounds in that week. So it definitely works. And I think surprisingly painlessly. It wasn't as hard as I thought. I maybe didn't have as much energy as I normally would if I'd eaten, but as you get used to it, that sort of changes. And in a way, you feel lighter and clearer, and in some ways, maybe more motivated. So anyway, I hope that you're all doing well, and let's keep on going. And don't forget, if you need help, you know, the whole buddy system is really so important. So reach out here. Put up something in the comments if you don't have anybody in your life that really wants to help you with this. Sometimes you just need the person to call or text to kind of talk you down off the ledge. You know, you just want to dive into that chocolate cake or something, or be lazy and not do anything. But mostly it's those food cravings that we get, especially at night. So if you need help and you need somebody, I know there's somebody here that would be willing to help you, because I know there are people who have found their buddies in the past doing this, and those friendships continue to this day. So it's a good thing. Anyway, onward.